So I've watched all 3 games of Sven gameplay in this Dream League Grand Finals so you don't have to. Sven has been a good pick in the early draft as it is something that Team Falcon cooked to perfection with their game plan. So let's hop into the game and look at the differences between Sven on all 3 games. The first game, Skiter is going against a Beastmaster, so he prioritized his cleave damage in the first 3 levels to be able to harass the boss that he summons. Being able to kill the boss in the lane will not only annoy the Beastmaster but also give yourself XP and endgame advantage. And for this other game with Nightfall on the Sven, he went for Warcry to be able to make a mini combo based on movement speed together with the Elder Titan to have advantage in hitting people in lane. Back to game 1, Skiter on the Sven uses his God Strength to farm the jungle as Falcon took advantage of Shadow Demon's ability to stack multiple camps for extra gold boost. 10 minutes in, the right time to farm Ancients according to Skiter's farming pattern is when the enemy commits on your tier 1 tower. The reason why it's good is because you already have free information that enemy is stuck at the top side for at least a minute and they most likely can't smoke to kill you farming the Ancient stacks. After the Sven got his Echo Saber, he smoked with his team ready to showcase his new item to the enemy. They got the Techies but BetBOOM was able to disengage safely. The Radiant used their glyph to delay the push but Skiter didn't respect the Fortify and BetBOOM swung back at Falcon while having the Raw on the Beastmaster and Penguin's roll and deleted the Sven. Because of their one misplay, the game was pushed into a stalemate as Falcon lost the chance at their momentum in the mid game. BetBOOM made the great smoke play while baiting the rune and caught the Sven lacking. They destroyed the Sven with their roar and arrow combo, but this is where it gets interesting. BetBOOM wants to run them down after killing the Sven and committed all their spells including Chronosphere. Watch how Falcon turned this around and knowing that BetBOOM used all their resources as Armor went in for the Doom on Faceless Void. Seeing this, Skiter knew it was time to buy back as BetBOOM was just walking breadcrumbs after exhausting all of their resources, and it was time to chase them back as Falcon. As we're coming into the late game, BetBOOM was able to get the Aegis with their map control heavy lineup with the Mirana, and soon after they were knocking on the high ground. Skiter's role in this fight was to kill the backline support, or people that were out of position with the Batrider's lasso. He finished off Nightfall into ironically killing Safe, trying to save the Faceless Void. As Faceless Void was aliving with the Aegis, the Beastmaster roared the Doom to save Nightfall, and you can see GPK is committed with his role from the backlines. But Nightfall instinctively popped his BKB and time walked to safety. This causes confusion as BetBOOM fell apart in a moment, but Mallorin on the Primal Beast seized the opportunity and lead the chase. The game-winning moment was when Falcon managed to catch the Mirana outside her base and managed to dismantle BetBOOM's formation, which leads to Beastmaster being in an awkward position and Faceless Void getting Doom, and that was it for the game 1. Immediately we're gonna look at games 2 Sven, but this time it's played by Nightfall. Upon reaching level 6, his farming pattern was pretty much the same as Skiter as he uses his God Strength for the jungle camps near his tier 1 tower instead of moving around the map. One of the reasons is that compared to the Radiant lineup, Gyrocopter as a carry has stronger abilities upon reaching level 6 compared to the Sven as he needs at least a Mask of Madness and Echo Saber to start the fight properly. In this game, BetBOOM was playing from behind due to the offlane Kunkka not having a good lane and needs time to farm to be useful. This means that GPK on the Timbersaw will be having a hard time controlling the game alone when both his cores needs to farm. Nightfall tried to take advantage of them appearing top by TPing mid to kill the Rubik but failed. He tried to go back to his normal life of farming but it was quickly interrupted by Falcon's high pressure, and you can see them running over the triangle giving Nightfall very limited space as punishment for Kunkka losing his lane in the early game. This moment here shows how hard the games were for the Sven as all he wants to do is focus the farm on his BKB. He can't even farm the ancient camp without even having someone rushing him down. The game was at a very aggressive stage as the moment Sven spawned, he has to disassemble his Echo Saber into the BKB as he teleports into the team fight. BetBOOM was able to fight back as Falcon started the fight with the Rubik dying first, which resulted in a good positioning for them to strike back at them. 2 minutes later, the Radiant took down Roshan and BetBOOM decides to smoke into them before they grouped up as 5 and managed to find Mallorin on the Pango first. And with that kill, they were able to finally take down the Tormentor and the tier 1 tower of the game. 30 minutes in, both teams are still stagnant while waiting for the next Roshan. We see BetBOOM smoked up and waiting for the high ground and keep themselves in formation. Soon after, we see the gyro baiting and all hell breaks loose when they caught the Doom. The Doom instantly bought back after dying, and BetBOOM decides to gather behind the Roche pit. The win condition for BetBOOM right now is to play the long fight and wait for the BKBs and Pango roll so they could put out their domain expansion with the Kunkka's Aghanim Scepter. But Falcon played incredibly well and are able to force BetBOOM in a situation where they are forced to man fight and use the Gyro's BKB efficiently. At the end, Falcon took down the Aegis as BetBOOM faced a team wipe. 35 minutes in, BetBOOM made a good choice to fight outside their base and play under their vision instead of waiting for Falcon to knock on the high ground. They ended up only getting the support kill onto Snaking as Amar on the Doom managed to get away, but it was a good attempt. Even without the Aegis, Falcon still knows that they are ahead and went for the high ground push. They committed Doom and Pango onto the Timber Saw, but BetBOOM managed to defend their base as the Kunkka was constantly X-marking the opponent to ensure that they cannot run as Timber Saw and Takis buy back into the game. They ended up slaying 4 heroes in that fight. So Falcon respawned, and here comes round 2 as BetBOOM glyphed the Rex and they committed Doom onto the Kunkka and Pango rolls around the backlines. The fight went crazy as Falcon wanted to retreat and BetBOOM was onto the chase, and in the same time Pango popped his refresher shard and started rolling his way into everyone as BetBOOM do not have solution to deal with for round 2. And the outcome of this fight was that Falcon was able to get the mega creeps. On the last ditch attempt, BetBOOM decided to fight outside, but even though with the refresher on the Sven this late into the game, they do not even have solutions to the Doom. And just like that, BetBOOM loses the game. Game 3. If you're still watching this, then you're a real one. Another Sven popped out and it is Skiter playing it this time. The one time that he struggled in this lane is when he is in the red zone, once again showing how common it is for anyone to fall for it. His first God Strong in this game is used aggressively in an attempt to kill the Kunkka, but Miera was slick with it as he escaped into the darkness of the night. Soon after, we see that Skiter was farming the ancient stack. But what I want to point out here is that the main reason he is attempting the stacks right now is based off the enemy's movement. In the map, we can see that the Kunkka and the Morphling making aggressive movement towards the tower, which means there is high chance that no one will contest the triangle. So that is why he is taking the ancient stacks even though with his God Strength off cooldown. The first major fight happens right as he receives his Echo Saber in the middle of the fight. We see that he uses God Strength to kill the Shadow Demon first, and he couldn't continue hitting the Kunkka as he has Blade Mail on already on the 40-minute mark. From then on, it was hard to continue the fight, and he got arrowed by the Mirana on the way back. Overall, the Sven ended up dying in a 50-50 trade between BetBOOM and Falcon. The second fight of the game happens when Falcon decides to flank BetBOOM as they were about to siege the tier 2 tower. The timing of this fight was based on the Lina's and Mars tempo, and Sven was brought in to assist the fight, and the fight ended up in another 50-50 trade once again. This third fight of the game, Skiter did some crazy play as he drops his branch after killing the Morphling in order to disassemble his Echo Saber to get his BKB to tank the upcoming gank from BetBOOM. This outplay actually rewards him with killing Kunkka while being able to get away safely. 21 minutes comes by and Falcon decides to ignore the Wisdom Rune and instead go for a smoke gank onto the middle and caught the Shadow Demon with a lasso. The Radiant does not want to give up the tower after Amar on the Mars blink in and use his BKB. But little did they know that Malrin was hiding out of vision and managed an insane LSA onto the Leshrac, which gives Skiter an easy right click with his BKB. Falcon managed to take the Roche uncontested and soon started using the Aegis to take down towers after towers. But it wasn't until they met difficulty as they hit for the mid tier 2 tower, and Toronto Tokyo on the Mirana baited the Sven deep between the towers and forced Falcon to fight without favorable visions. They took the Sven first life down, but Skiter did not have enough firepower as he already used his God Strength before his death. In the end, they could only run away after having using their spells and BKB. Sven managed to get away safely, but in exchange for the life of the Lina and the Bat Rider. Soon after, Falcon managed to catch BetBOOM with their guard down as they thought that Falcon wouldn't make any plays as Lina was only seconds away from respawning. This caught BetBOOM by surprise and they even managed to catch the Morphling, but not Morphling this time to his own death with the help of Amar and the Sven. And this instantly turned the tide around with such a brilliant play from Falcon. The next play for Falcon here is to find pickoffs in order to secure the Roshan. The fight started with them killing the Shadow Demon, but Skiter was not able to kill the Kunkka even after committing his BKB to negate the Blade Mail damage. This quickly bite him back in the ass as Kunkka controls him with his X-Mark Torrent and Falcon was forced to flee in exchange for Skiter's life. Once again, the moment the Sven was alive, they immediately smoked together with the DD rune and ran into BetBOOM. Only this time, after maximizing his damage output with his low BKB duration, his team was the real star of the game as they sweep the rest of the enemy team after Skiter was unalived by BetBOOM. 40 minutes into the game, and the only way that Falcon is able to go high ground first is to first get the Aegis or catch someone outside their base, and they did the latter as they forced a fight at the Radiant Triangle, catching the Leshrac in a bad position and killed 2 other supports. After the death of the enemy, they opt to finally go high ground, but Leshrac bought back and Falcon decided to make a quick dip to reset the formation and they managed to catch the Leshrac out of position again, which forced another buyback from the Kunkka. And BetBOOM was red ice hungry and on the chase. They managed to get on the but it's a great trade for Falcon as BetBOOM bought back on 2 cores already. Another 10 minutes passed by, and now it's 51 minutes into the game, and BetBOOM made an aggressive smoke which caught Falcon off guard as they were waiting for the Roche. They jumped the Lina, and Falcon was forced to be on a retreat already. After the Lina spawned, Falcon stood in a formation to contest Roche, and all hell breaks loose once again. As everything is going crazy, Skiter stood calm as he analyzed the fight and waited for the Morphling BKB to go down before dropping the dong on the Morphling and his enemies. But BetBOOM was not willing to give the Roche and committed all of their buyback once again in exchange for Skiter's life. Unfortunate. The Roshan was on the late side of the timer, and Falcon managed to smoke just in time for the most important fight of the game. They were late for the Roche, but their formation was just right for the team fight as Scepter managed to catch the Morphling off guard with the Mindbreaker in his hand, and Nightfall even got speared on his second life. Even though with the Morphling dead, BetBOOM was still fighting till the end, but it was all in vain as they all ended up dying without buyback. If you watched till the end, you definitely deserve a raise in MMR. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Bye!